and educated, I can assure you of that. But before we begin with that, I just want to share a poem with you from my book called Words in Action. The poem is called There is Room at the Top for You. Whatever is destined for you, you will get it. No matter how off the path you get, don't quit. No matter how the distance seems unattainable. No matter what people say, know God is able. No matter how circumstances appear to the contrary, no matter how crowded the path, there is room for you. Just keep that in mind as you hear what we have to talk about today regarding solo performances, and we're going to share some tips with you later on. But right now, I'm so excited and thrilled. I have two wonderful gentlemen here, and welcome, we have Vincent.
I'm the greatest of all times. I'll beat anybody out there.
Muhammad Ali. And we have Michael Broughton.
How you doing?
And thank you both for being here. Now, why don't we start with Vincent, since you've already fired up. Now, Vincent is a writer, actor, and comedian, as you can well see already.
Just a little bit.
And he does film, TV, theater, commercials, you name it, he does it. And some of his credits, you may have seen him. Of course, you've seen him in the most recent movie called Ali. Okay, he had a very good role in there. And he'll tell you about that later. He was also in Babs. I saw Babs. That was interesting. And Tears of a Clown, okay? Now, and then as a comedian, you're going to tell us about the Black Entertainment Network. We want to get back to that. But what I really liked when I was reading his bio, he's won 2 awards. So why don't you start telling us about the 2 awards, and then we'll just kind of segue to the other things.
Well, the 2 awards were for the play that I do, the one-man show called Ali, the Man, the Myth, the People's Champion.
All right, say that title again. I want to make sure.
Ali, the Man, the Myth, the People's Champion.
Got it. Okay.
And so I won 2 awards for, Best New Playwright and Best Actor Performance in a one-man performance show.
Okay. Why Ali?
Ali was a hero to me as a young brother. Ali, if people go back to this time, and when, let's say, my parents and people, my age or whatever, when you go back, Ali was well-loved, well-liked. He was, like, how people see Obama now and they're going, Obama! It's like a movement going on.
Yes, yes.
That's what it was when Ali came on. Ali was like, bam, it's Muhammad Ali, yay! We're glad to hear Ali. And that's what it was, because he stood up against all odds that were against him, and stood up as a proud man, showing you, what he could accomplish through his faith and his belief in God, and he was against war and fighting and hurting poor people, and things of that nature, and he was really about the human spirit. And so that's why people love Ali so much. And I chose Ali because as a young kid, and the fact that he was a boxer,
Okay.
So I'm a kid. I was getting bullied by a little midget man one day, and the little midget man got me a little gray, so I got in there with him. But once I learned how to box, it was just like, I wanted to do more with my boxing. I want to see how far I can go. I went to the 80 Olympics that they didn't have. They had the Eastern Regional Olympic Trials here in the United States and North Carolina. But, once that was over, it was like, well, we didn't really get an Olympics, because it wasn't, nobody knows anything about that thing, So when I was in the gym training and watching and, doing all the things that I do, Muhammad Ali came
I was going to ask you. Okay.
Yeah, in other words, you get to meet him one time. Don King, Look here, a lot of people don't know, what we got here today is Muhammad Ali. He's going to be fighting over here at the Capitol Center here in Washington, D.C. That's where he was, Washington, D.C. And they brought Muhammad Ali over there, man. It was so exciting to see, Muhammad Ali in person,
How old were you then?
About 14.
Oh, wow.
And he was, and he was on there, and he was, people were hollering, Ali, Boomaye, Ali. I didn't know what it meant at the time, but I was saying, Ali, Boomaye, Ali, Boomaye. I was just so glad to see him, and he got in there, and he won. He was just a handsome man in there, boxing, doing his thing. He was just loved. But they had posters of him in the gym. And the posters, they all, you be training, his back be so tired. You look up and you see a poster of Muhammad Ali, now you get right back on it. You know what I mean? You get right back on it training and stuff, just because it kept you in good shape. Just inspirational. So that was the reason that I chose Ali. That was the reason that I wanted to write the one-man show and do his life. You know, Will Smith and them did a movie on him with myself.
Right.
You know, being in the movie and all that.
How was that working with Will Smith?
Man, Will Smith is a great guy. You know, you meet some good people in life. Will Smith is a funny man.
Glad to hear that.
It's all mellow. It's all good. It's a beautiful experience. One of the best experiences of my life. It will go down in history. Vincent Cook had one of the best experiences in his life when he was hanging out with Will Smith. Now, in the beginning, when he auditioned, that was a different story. It was just like, you know, he had to box world champions to get the role in the movie. So
during the audition process, who were you boxing against?
I was boxing against Al Cole. They call him Al Ice Cole. And then, you know, Michael Bent. And, you know, James Toney, all these guys, they call him James Lights Out Toney, the current heavyweight champion of the world. You know, so, and then you had Al Ice Cole, and you had, you know, Michael Bent and Charles Shuford, you know, and all these guys. You know, you get there and you go on rounds with them. It's like, wow, you know, it's exciting to be in there boxing guys that are world champions, or former world champions, if you will.
Okay. Very, very inspiring just to hear how you have been inspired by Muhammad Ali. I mean, I always admired his chutzpah. You know, standing up for what he believed in no matter what and going to jail in spite of.
Wow,
I mean, that's a man. That's a man.
Yeah,
that's a man. You know what I mean? And coming out and still being the heavyweight champion of the
world. And then them telling him he can't box for 3 years. Yeah. And everybody thought he was done. They said, well, it's over for Muhammad Ali. It's over. And then he went on television, and the way he campaigned and marketed himself. I mean, that wasn't done before. See, people don't know, but a lot of people got what Ali learned that from a wrestler, how to promote yourself. And then from that moment on, he perfected it.
I love that. What, float like a butterfly?
Float like a butterfly, sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. You can't hear what your eyes can't see. I'm so fast, I cut out the light. I'll be in the bed before the room gets dark. If you dream about beating me, you better wake up and apologize.
I love it. But wait a minute, what did he always tell Fred? Who's the one he always called ugly? I'm sorry.
No. He always he loved Joe Frazier. Joe Frazier made Ali. I'll tell you all right, Joe Frazier, you made Ali, man. If it wasn't for you, it wouldn't be no Muhammad Ali. I'm telling you, them battles that they had. You tell Joe Frazier. He did. No, the one I like is when he did Ali went on Wild World of Sports. You know, the Supreme Court was still out making their ruling whether or not he was going to go to jail or not. He was going to do 5 years. A few other people had already been put in prison at that time for not going to the war. Elijah Muhammad, Malcolm X, and a few other people. So they was like, whoa, you know, Muhammad, you really taking a gamble here with the court, thinking that, you know, you're going to win. And he was like, you're never going to fight again. He said, I don't know if I'm ever going to fight again. It's a strong possibility. But I may go to jail, who knows. But if I get a chance to fight Joe Frazier, this is what's going to happen. Ali comes out to meet Frazier. Frazier starts a retreat. If they back up any further, he's going to be in a ringside seat. Ali throws a left. Ali throws a right. Look at Ali carry the fight. Frazier's still backing. Ain't that much room ain't belong for Ali longer. Woo! The crowd is getting frantic. Our radar has picked him up. He's somewhere over the Atlantic. Now, who would have thought when they came to see this fight that they would be witnessing the launching of a black satellite? I'm the greatest.
Oh, my goodness. Thank you. Oh, I was like, I got chills. That was wonderful. That was actually wonderful. You know what? I love it. And we'll get to you in a minute, Michael. When you take a hero like Muhammad Ali and also the man that you're doing, the Mountain Man, and we'll talk about that in a minute, just to keep his image and what he did for society alive for the younger people, because a lot of the younger kids coming up, you know, they may see snippets on TV, but a one-man show can't compare to the snippets that they may see and what you bring to Muhammad Ali, and you do him proud. And I just want to move on to one other thing. Now, I see that you were handpicked by Clinton to be the opening act for Luther Vandross, and